Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. Let's continue the story. Let's, we're going down this General Grievous story path, which we did fight General Grievous, I know, in the Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 games, which I played as the combined re-release Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. So, I guess, unless we replay the section that we've already played, in which we fight and I believe defeat and kill General Grievous, we can't actually kill him. But that doesn't mean much because we have been quote unquote capturing all these bad guys up to this point anyways. So it might very well turn out that that's just what happens here. Commander Cody, Captain Rex, apparently big characters in the Clone Wars cartoon series. They probably should have just set the events of the cartoon in a distant section of the universe. General Grievous here seems to be dying too of some sickness, which implies that he's not a droid. Here you've got some like stealth assassin droids ready to ambush. Yeah, but if they had set the cartoon in a far, far away so that you didn't run into any of the characters, they could have probably done more with the story and left it and done something more ambitious. But it's a cartoon, and you also probably very much want to use the characters, and that's why Anakin is there. Maybe at the end, when the new characters of the Clone Wars cartoon were known and beloved by fans of the series, they could have moved it to a distant section and continued telling tales. Wow, that's interesting. This is a strange level. Certainly nothing we've seen before. A lot of verticality here that it's a big old worm. Lego worm. I kind of get the feeling that a lot of these clone troopers get in danger and need the help of the main clone trooper leaders to get out of it. Now, it's a strange mix here of the Lego pieces and the non-Lego pieces. Trying to hit this worm. I assume that's what I'm supposed to do. Seems like you only get an opportunity to break something every second or third attack. Otherwise your shots just bounce off. Just like a stormtrooper. Can't hit anything. Am I just missing? Or maybe I needed the target. That might have been it. So that convinces him to go over there, which then lets us cross to this next section. Just like a Lego level. Who would have guessed? And the game locks up, just like a PC version of a Lego game. Who would have guessed? You know, I wish I had really done the research myself. Probably wouldn't have stopped me for covering this, but it very well might have convinced me to wait until like several years later to cover the Lego series, because I already own all these games on Xbox 360. It wouldn't have been too much trouble for me to down the line play those games from that source instead of PC. I guess at a certain level the question becomes whether I want to ever cover non-PC games on my channel, which right now I have the very convenient excuse that I don't have the equipment, which is true, to not cover non-PC games, but also there's other reasons that it may very well get down to that I may want to always stick to PC. So you gotta hit them with the explosive one, I guess. This is finicky fighting this worm. This is really finicky. I gotta lock on and then hit it. To just point it out, if I was gonna record just the Xbox 360 versions of this game, which I have, I need some sort of device that could record the video output of the console into a PC. And ideally, that would also help on recording PC games too, because then I could record the video out on a PC to a secondary PC, therefore one of them is never really taxing or interfering with the other. But that's not cheap. Certainly not cheap. So Rubino. And it only gets more expensive on top of that. You probably would spend around $500 for a external recording machine, whatever that is. And then I probably would then also want to get the Xbox One or the Xbox Scorpio by that point, or whatever else is out there, or the PlayStation 4 Pro or the PlayStation 5, and that would be an interesting argument that I don't have to really think about either. And ideally, with the exclusives, you're still going to end up buying both a PlayStation and an Xbox probably, and unless something really changes, I probably would never cover Nintendo things, because Nintendo claims everything as copyrighted, even if it's fair use. Let's come over here and break all this stuff. Get some studs. Nice amount of studs for breaking all that. So you're talking at least $1,500 of equipment to not play PC games. Where in comparison, I'm not sure, with having a Steam library of over 600 games, I'm not sure I've spent $1,500 at all. Well, probably slightly over that, because I imagine I've probably spent about $1,500 on building a $1,000 gaming PC, and which isn't how I started my channel. I was playing on a gaming laptop that I already owned, and then I probably have spent maybe $600 for 600 Steam games. Probably a little less than that even, surprisingly enough. This guy has like a red sword. It's really late in the game for them to introduce yet another type of enemy, honestly. And I know that probably happened in the story, but you gotta make these things actually work as video games before you just directly copy what happened in the story. In fact, you can tell completely different stories. An article just came out how Marvel now is kind of reevaluated how they're gonna do video games, and they want the video game creators to tell new stories with their characters. So ideally no more bad Spider-Man games that just tell boring, dull tales. So they've got like a Trojan horse in there, or why is the screen split? Just to show what's gonna happen. And see, immediately it tells me I can split the things back. And see, this is cool. Just mowing down droids left and right. Don't have to worry about it at all because it's just a non-stop fight of droids. Come on, break this thing before they break me. Got it. That took a little bit of work. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth our time actually to do all this, so I'm just gonna go and decide not to. And the game locked up. And boy, does it like to lock up. But quite a number of droids pouring out of this thing. See, I think I would need the invincibility cheat enabled for this. And it doesn't seem like there's... So, is this where we're placing them? No. So, where are we supposed to place this? It doesn't make sense that you would want it further away. Oh, but maybe you do. Maybe you want it right on that platforms that we saw. Yeah. That's exactly what we wanted. Never mind. And we'll go ahead and hold down the Y button. And we'll start playing with the other characters. And of course all those coins that were sitting on the ground have long despawned. And of course the game is going to decide to lock up. And of course lock up again. Let's see what this does. It opens a doorway. Good. I love opening doorways. I can pull this guy and steal his sword. Interesting. That's a cool mechanic that we don't use anywhere else. Let's see. And how important is it to collect studs? Probably not that important. I have 100,000 right now. Just go ahead and put one there and lock it into place. What happens when I pull this? This doorway opens. Pull this. Pull this. That's one collectible down. Hop in here. And so these carts have little robot legs, but it requires somebody to control them. That's pretty silly. And when we get 2 of them done, number 3 is right there. Can't break that glass. So we'll do this. And will that start a cutscene, or do we need to do something more? The cutscenes start a little late, by the way. You may have noticed. It's like half a second to even maybe a second late. And the detonator broke, so he has to go back and blow it up himself and save the day. Why do the clone troopers that are fighting on their side seem so much more competent than what we see in the movies? And there, Anakin's reading the comic book again, which that's an interesting idea. And poor General Grievous is coughing himself to death and has to retreat. And these guys get saved. No Jedis at all in this level. And see, that's kind of cool. And that's one of the things that they did in The Force Awakens, is they tried to kind of play up heroes that aren't Jedi. And I guess they're going to have to do more and more of that. But, man, look at that collection of characters. Half of them are just clone troopers. So we are slowly approaching the 1 million we need again. We're still 300,000 away, but eventually. Gold bricks don't seem like they give you any extra studs, which is weird. And that was 18 minutes. Kind of a perfect length for a level, really. The only part that was slightly long, I would say, is fighting the worm, because it was just difficult to lock onto the worm and realize what needed to be done to actually damage its head. And every time until we catch back up and get to 1 million, we need to do this. More and more of these. And see, the weirdness will certainly come about if it turns out I don't actually need to do what I'm doing right now, and it and it turns out that the game has accounted for everything, and it's super easy to collect all the score multipliers and all the other unlockables. But I kind of doubt that that's the case. What very well might happen is in the real-time strategy levels, you'll be given a task to do and then a timer, and if you do it under the timer, they give you extra studs. That might be a way to encourage you to play the real-time strategy levels that I'm pretty sure the game is going to unlock, and also help you collect more studs. Let's see. So let's just again look. There's no less than 9 clone troopers, people in helmets, on the first row, and there's no less than 7 we've seen so far on the second row. It's nearly half. And looking at these shadows, I'm not sure if we're gonna really unlock more than maybe 1 or 2 new characters in the remaining single player story. Like, last thing we have here is Grievous Intrigue, and then I think that finishes us for missions. And we're at 33.7%, and we've been playing for 7.5 hours. 23 of 130 gold bricks. There's quite a few gold bricks to collect, but I imagine they'll come fast and easy once we have the remaining 14 red bricks unlocked and can find all the collectibles. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.